editor.
No, end block has no icon. Right.
Whoa, you're all welcome to Insights and Knowledge Sharing with the Queen. My name is Aya Lawrence. I'm a professional counselor and coach, a highly efficient people and systems organizer, solving complex problems that deliver personal and organizational bliss. My tribe call me the Queen of Premium Family Life Practice. Thank you for stopping by today. Here we learn, we unlearn, we relearn, and trust me, you are here for a time of transformation in your family life and even in life in general. Do subscribe to this channel and make sure you have your notification bell turned on. For the past weeks, you've been seeing just me. You've been seeing just me. But today I have someone special in the house. See me all blushing. I have my dear husband, Femi Lawrence. I call him Mr. Law. That's his social media name. And we're doing this together today.
Yeah.
We clocked 21 years some few days ago.
Our time flies, You only know when you start. But,
Yes.
as the time ticks, it's just something
You know.
beyond your imagination.
Yes. And it's been amazing the past 21 years. And we're just here to share our learnings over the years, what we've learned, how we've grown, how we've evolved. And I'm the host and at the same time, the guest. So it's a gist session today. So I'll be asking us some questions and at the same time, just sharing our thoughts and our growth over the years. So, sweetheart,
Right.
when you were about signing the dotted lines some
me.
21 years ago, bless you, what were your expectations? What was it at the back of your mind? What were you looking at? Okay, marriage, with this girl. What was your expectation?
Oh, well, I was very young, so let me just try to go down the memory lane. I would say that my expectations were just basic, natural, what is common, and then they are all tied to what I observed in my family, in the family I grew up from. My family, that's my father and my mother, what I observed. But on top of that, what I could remember precisely was that there's a particular family friend, that is my friend, their family, that I really admire so much, and I was able to pick some things I love about them, what they do, which was not found in my own family. So therefore, my expectation was like a match of the things I value so much in my home where I grew up from, and also from that particular family friend and the way they actually relate together. So that's where my expectation actually. So I had expectations. Yeah.
Okay, great. And two families can't be the same because the individuals that make up the family are different. So we are just here for those who are watching, we are just here to share our own story. And for you to just pick one or two things from our own story. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will do it the way we are doing. Just pick the principles, tweak it in such a way that, it works for you. And I'm sure you'll be able to, get something great out of your home. Yes, I had my expectations as well because of the family I grew up in. And that's, it's amazing. The family we grew up in has a lot, to do in the family we are building. So we have to be sure and be careful to be sure that, okay, the new family we're coming up with, you know, has those things or have those things that would make our home solid. So yes, from my own family, where I'm coming from, my expectation was tied to that as well. Seeing my mom and my dad, do very well, do things together. Those were my expectations as well. I was okay when I get married, to this amazing young man. We'll be able to do things together. We'll be able to, share so many things together. That was the expectation I came with. And it's amazing now that I am a professional. I found out that, yes, those expectations carried me to some extent, but didn't carry me far. Because when it comes to you having a purpose for coming together, it was for us, it wasn't really, really um solidified,
Yeah,
as it
yeah,
were.
true.
It
Yeah,
wasn't really
yeah,
solidified. We just knew, okay, yeah, we're ready for marriage, we believe God is leading us,
yeah,
and we just went into it.
yeah. It was really about God,
It was more
God
about
leading
God,
us.
we
I
want
have
to have
peace
a
of mind.
full a
Those were the
family and
things
build
that
children. Yeah,
we were
focused
exposed to
on.
and focused on.
Yeah.
So therefore, really, I can say from what you just mentioned now, I can say that really there was a purpose
Yeah.
really beyond um, just the basics, the
Yeah.
general one, companionship. You want to have a child, you want somebody you gonna work together, partner, and stuff like that. But again, when you talk of expectation, my mind just also remember that, I would say my expectations really were not met, so to speak, even when we got married. Because
Yeah.
I remember some of the mindset I had because of what I was exposed to, growing up in my own family was my mother. We always serve my dad, you know, so I went into marriage. I don't know if you remember.
Oh
I think I
yes.
mentioned it to you
Oh
at some
yes,
point.
I remember so
I was
clearly.
expecting like, actually like a king. The man is a king, so therefore,
TEAMLAWRENCE.
everybody will come and will just be serving the man. That was the kind of thing I expect. So my expectation was dashed in that area actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the amazing thing is, in the home I grew up in, it's more like a buffet. So you cook, you put everything in the warmer, and everybody comes to the table and serve themselves. So when you came and you wanted me to serve you, in my head, I'm like, just serve yourself. You know what your tummy can take, Mr. Law. Just serve yourself. And really, it took us time to settle into that.
yeah,
It took us time. And even eating at the table, you didn't really grow up in that setting,
yeah,
but I grew up, everybody has to be at the table, we all eat together. So those were the few struggles we had, in the beginning.
yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, what was it like for us when the children came? Before we got married, you were privy to the fact that I had a medical condition, nephrotic syndrome, and part of the things they told me then was the fact that by the time we get married, if I get married and I want to start having children, it might be a bit of a challenge. And you still, went along, with me. Even though before we got married, that became the medical condition was taken out of the picture. We thank God for that. It became negative and all. And by the time we got married, 2 months into marriage, Oluwafemi,
Yeah.
I got pregnant.
I remember. But yeah, I don't know if you remember very well. We didn't plan that we will start having children,
Yes.
quickly. I think we were thinking about a year or thereabout.
Or did we put
But
any plan in place?
exactly,
Just we were
exactly,
just assuming it will not happen
exactly.
because there was
So
no
no
we
knowledge.
desired 1 year,
Yeah,
but there was no plan
exactly. So the
to
rule of,
ensure the
I
one
think
year
that's part of the
happens.
rule of counseling. I think
Yes,
there were no
yes.
proper counseling at that point in time where you'll be able to explore, some of the things that are very important for you to achieve your
And
goals,
how
your
to,
desire, and how to exercise the how
yes,
to was
and
not
the
there. You know,
consequences for not putting the how
yeah,
to in place.
yeah, yeah. But I think having to have children also impacted significantly
Yeah,
in our relationship
absolutely.
because the time that we ought to have spent to get to know one another better, because when we were dating, we dated for about 3 years or so,
Yeah.
and of course, at that point in time, it was see, dating is actually different from when you are living together. There are two different things entirely.
Absolutely.
Especially if you are a type that has not go through some kind of scientific, a better kind of family system engineering that you are, into today. Because the way you go into practical aspect of what they will experience
Yeah.
when they're married,
Yeah.
and also what they will experience before they get married and have to transition, into marriage. But we never had that opportunity.
No.
So therefore, our time that we had, the first few months, a year that we had to be able to build a strong relationship and try to know each other better, we didn't have that. I thought it became that there was a distraction along the
Absolutely.
line,
Absolutely.
So I could say that yes, it's a blessing, but then I don't think we did very well, trying to manage that also with our relationship, with our closeness, with the understanding one another, alongside with that. So it
Yeah.
was for me, I'm talking from my own personal
Oh
experience,
yes.
it was
Yes.
either or. Because I remember when we have a child, the first child, I remember that the child looks so naive, and looks as if helpless. So I'm bothered. I was not bothered about you.
Can you
So you
imagine?
became second fiddle.
See my life outside.
But I'm trying to be nice, and the child is helpless.
Okay, thank you so much. So, um, yes, he came, and so many things changed about us. And you mentioned the fact that before we got married, we weren't really friends, Femi. We weren't really
No, no, we
friends.
weren't.
We weren't friends.
We're
We're
not.
just,
We are just brother
brother
and
and
sister
sister
in the Lord.
in the law. That was it. And because we loved God so much, we just wanted to please Him. We came together on that premise. But over the years, we found out that that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, there's more to it.
There is more
There's
to
more
it.
to
There
it.
is more to it. Yeah,
Without-
there is more to it. Yeah, like you said, success coming. Yeah, it shook a lot of things, even for me as a wife, and having to now go back to work. I couldn't just cope at that point in time. I didn't explore so many opportunities I had around me for help. Your mom,
Mm,
an amazing woman. I'm sure if I told her, Mom, please come and stay with me for some time, she wouldn't have said no. She's that kind of a person. I didn't even explore that. I just dropped my resignation letter and came to sit at home amongst pots and pans. And I tell young ladies now that please, when you have when in that situation, explore all the opportunities. Let it not be that you're leaving your job to go back home is the first thing on your mind. There are so many opportunities, and I've come to realize that you can actually work and still have a solid home with amazing children.
mm,
It's possible.
yeah,
It's possible.
yeah,
It's possible.
yeah. Just to also I like that because I recall very clearly because it was not a clever decision at that time
Yeah, for
for having to
us.
you to ask you. We agreed. Yes, it
Yeah,
was
we
an agreement,
agreed.
both of
Yeah.
us, that just because of then, if you remember, our first child had became sick at some point,
Yes, that's
and
true.
we
My
needed to pay
attention.
attention. And at the same time, work life was too hectic.
Hectic.
I remember I would close work, I would
Yeah.
come back to your office,
I
I
an
would stay
IT
till late night,
professional, you an IT
you
person
know,
as
and
well.
then it will carry our child from the daycare, you put beside you. So it was not working, in terms of, but like you said, we do
We
explore
didn't
other
explore. We
options.
did not.
The option that we went into straight away was stop working until I can take care of the child. I will manage the income that comes from it. Not that we are any big, but we just believe that that
Oh,
was the only option. But I think you know better today.
oh yes, we
That
do.
we can
We
actually
do.
explore
We
further.
do. We do. We do.
And we'll be
We
able
do.
to make do
Yeah.
with it better.
So, Femi, how would you rate our communication at the beginning?
Interesting question.
I'm already
Communication
laughing.
rating at the beginning. Well, on a scale of what?
0 or -1 to
No, on a scale, I
10.
mean
0 to 10.
0 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I won't say we don't communicate at all, but I would say max maybe three
Okay.
out of
Oh,
10,
you tried.
maybe three
I
out of
wanted
10.
to give us one. You
If you
know,
give us one, if I give three, then average of two. So
that's that's okay then. So we
communication
give
level is two.
ourselves two.
Mm,
Because I can remember I was a very uptight person. So there were times you're joking and I'm just taking it seriously. I begin to coil up and I'm like, please,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this. I took life too seriously. You can't joke around Ivy Lawrence.
Yeah.
Ah,
You were tough.
I was tough.
Uh,
How did you manage me?
Ah, honestly, honestly, I really do not know. But the only thing I can say is that my temperament that actually worked out for me.
That's true.
I think it was
That's
my
true.
temperament
That's
because
true.
I can't say I had a formula.
Hmm.
I can't really say that I was big wahala, just to
Hmm.
say,
Hmm.
for me. But I think I was just myself because of
Hmm.
I'm flake,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I can have a bit of sanguine
Yeah.
as well. So I think the flake part of me
Hmm.
helped to manage that situation where so that I didn't make a fight,
Hmm. Out
or
of
trouble
it.
out of it.
Hmm.
I was able to accept it the way it is, even though I'm not excited,
You're
I'm
not
not
happy
happy,
with
but
it.
then it does not define my reactions.
Hmm.
I want to believe so.
You were able to
You know,
own your happiness,
yeah, exactly.
despite the fact that Aya was just in the world of her own.
Yeah,
I can remember the days you guys, when the children, were much a bit older, you guys would be watching TV and laughing, and I'll just be sulking in the room. In my head, I'm like, why are these people just so happy? There's
interesting.
so much to do.
We
Why
also
are they?
remember we had a very lavish, trip to Atlantis in Dubai.
Please, please,
I should not
please
talk
don't
about it.
remind me. You
Oh
can
my
talk
God.
about it.
Oh my God.
Everybody had fun except Mrs. Law. She
Ah,
was
I
always
enjoyed myself with the
busy
children.
doing something. Always sending one mail to someone, doing one thing,
Oh,
doing one thing. I will not waste money again. I promised myself. When next we go on another trip, sweetheart, just watch out for me.
I know you've already started already. We've seen it. You are even more fun than I do,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you've if not, if you must have recovered more than what you
What I've
missed.
lost. That trip was just, I was just on my own. Everybody goes out on the slide, water slide, do all manner of things. I was just in the room, just keeping to myself. Well, I've changed. I now live, love, and laugh. My laughter is even the loudest in
Yeah,
this
it
house
is.
now.
It is. You've
Amazing.
overtaken me. It's like I've slowed down a
I've
bit.
become a better woman. Okay. Mm. Um, from our experience, do you think marriage is work?
Marriage is work.
Work, yes.
Work, work, work,
Work, work, work, work,
work.
work. Yes, work,
Oh,
work, work,
something
work.
you exert your energy,
Yes, so
brain, and everything. Marriage is hard work. It's not just work.
who told you to put the hard in words now?
It's the truth. Oh. Marriage is hard work
It's hard work.
because the
Yeah,
truth there is that I'm different, you are different,
absolutely.
and people that are different, you need to be able to compress and come back to an equilibrium. If I may just explain it that way, that means there must be a pressure. Something was pressing down, something is pressing you up there, and you reach a balance and you are able to equalize. That means this person we have to give away something. The other person you have to give away something. It may not be convenient, you know. So for happiness, for ecstasy and for togetherness, it's a huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
So that to get that to be able to make that sacrifice, it's a lot of hard work. Because the truth there is that once you get married, it's like you are going to trade off your freedom to some extent.
Sweetheart, okay.
I will say to some
I'll
extent,
okay, I'll
you know,
I'll
bec-
throw span a
okay,
little bit
no, yeah,
in
and,
there.
and this is what I'm saying because a lot of time I have to take permission for everything I want, most of the things, actually most of the things I want to do, and unlike a single person who take all these own risk without budging, but now I have to consider risk, associated to everything, I would want to do, and of course responsibility
Yeah,
becomes huge,
yeah.
you know.
Two
Uh,
families,
exactly.
three
Yeah,
families.
your young family and the kind of culture we have in Africa, you are responsible for everybody in your family and the other person's family. In some, it's depending on the scenario
Yeah.
that you find ourselves. So therefore, it's no brainer that any home that want to be successful, they must be able to grind. They must be able to to work very hard by trying to understand your spouse alone is a
Yeah.
lot of hard work. Your spouse will be angry with you, and you begin to ask yourself,
What have
what
I
have I
done?
done? I was trying to.
Honey, we need to talk.
Sadly,
Your head begins
ah,
to think.
I remember
In those
my
days,
wife waking me up in the middle of the night
several
several
times.
times. That means I remember one day I just arrived from a trip. Then was the day when I used to travel a lot. That day I arrived and happily at home and everything as usual. My wife warm, welcome and everything. And middle of the night, my wife woke me up.
Yes, sir.
When she woke, my mind just said, I have committed sin.
Yes, sir.
I must have done something bad again. Since I came back home, my judge has woke me up. So, and I said, but I just came back. Just that day I came back yesterday, and I said, what have I done? Just immediately. So that day, I told her that I'm coming, that I want to use the bathroom. So I stood up from the bed, I went to the bathroom. I started to think, what have I done? I alighted from the plane. I drove in the cab. I got home. When I got home, I tried to, and I didn't really see what I have done. So before I came back, so I didn't really want to use the bathroom. Oh.
Wait
I'm
till-
confessing now.
Yes, we know you.
Well, but it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
To
is.
please, to be able to adjust to people's
adjust.
lifestyle. It's not easy. People you can lead to a fight,
Mm.
as well. But then once you be able to understand, and once you understand your spouse, you can adjust and be able to know, okay, it's not biggie. And I know it's not a very big thing at the end of the day. For that, it's just the style
Absolutely.
of my wife, of your spouse,
Yeah,
you'll be able to communicate. But
absolutely.
it's coming to you as an attack, it's coming to you as a stress and issue. So
Okay. Yeah, part of the things, when you said freedom, I said I was going to throw spanner in there. Um, when you get married, or even before you get married, ideally there are some things we should be doing. If you remember when you first got married, I was saying, Femi, you didn't tell me when you left.
yeah,
You didn't tell me. It was because of where you're coming from.
that was a big issue. I was very good at that.
Yeah, because of where you're coming from. Because of where I'm coming from, when you are going to the back house, you need to tell people in the house. For those who don't understand my dialect, I'll just say it. "Mo wà lẹ́yìn ilé, I'm at the backyard." People must know where you are at each point in time. So that was why you felt your freedom was taken away from you. It was because of where you're coming from. You just leave and you appear. You appear, you reappear, you disappear. But where I was coming from, you have to. And I could remember again, my dad was the one that would make sure the doors are locked. In your own case, you come in, you lock the door after yourself. But in my own case, my dad does that. At the end of the day, when anybody has gone to bed, he goes around the house to check. So several times, we left our door opened because Ayo will come in and we expect daddy to come and check. It's amazing.
It's good that been protecting us.
My dear husband, but now she's a better.
In fact, to really comment on that and also to commend you. I could say really that I've learned accountability from you. Marrying you made me to really understand accountability because you are very big in accounting. Accountability, you are huge on that. So for me, I didn't grow up, in accountable.
Being accountable.
I don't really account that much. More of
Let's just do.
but then
and
but
see
then
results, and that's
I realized that accountability is very key, and I learned it over the years, of our marriage, even though it was not my style, but I come with understanding. I was able to see the value in it, and I also be able to adjust along the way.
Okay, so marriage is work. It requires being intentional. It requires, putting in your best. It requires going the extra mile. And there was a truth we came to understand. People say, "Oh, I cannot live without you." We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think we've said it to
We've said
ourselves
it several
too.
times.
But we've come to realize that it's born out of insecurity.
That's not a true statement.
It's not true. Because the truth is, Femi Lawrence, I can live without you.
I can live without you. If
I can live
if you
without
are not
you.
even careful, you may even be better off.
The true. That's the
But
truth.
what I can see is that in a marriage where there's understanding, yes, I can live without you, but living without you can make me live better.
Absolutely.
When there's understanding, there's good communication,
Absolutely.
like we have said, there's accountability and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But one can live without the other
Oh,
person.
yes, you
And I think
can.
it's
That's
very
it.
important.
That's it. People need to get that.
People need to get that as
But the
well.
truth is, I'm so blessed to be able to walk this journey in this season of our lives with you. That's it. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
I do.
Yes. So I'm blessed to be able to walk this journey with you now in this time of our life.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I can live without you. Because when people say, oh, I can't live without you, that means if your spouse dies, they should just bury you alone.
It's an insecurity
Yes, that's what I
issue.
said. Yeah, it's
Anybody
insecure.
that is living in that bubble
Yeah,
is actually showing that he or she is insecure.
insecure.
It's insecurity.
Because you're tying your existence to another person.
And that is why it is important for every spouse to be able to say, this is me.
Yeah,
And this is
absolutely.
us.
Yes.
So in this is us, fantastic. But when it comes to this is me, can you really stand?
Absolutely.
Do you have the work you are doing?
Yeah.
Do you make contributions to the table, to the
Yeah.
family? Do you have a job? Do you have an income?
Yeah.
Do you have a skill? Because those are the things that makes people to say, I cannot live without you. But that's it.
Yeah.
Because they are exposed. They can actually go mad or commit suicide should anything happen to the other spouse. So so we have been telling ourselves the truth.
Yes.
I can live without you.
And I live without you.
I know you can live without me.
Yes,
but
but
we
the
are
truth
stronger
is,
and better together. Because
this
individually
point in
we are
time,
strong.
Yes, and in this season, it's beautiful spending my life with you. Isn't it?
Yes, it is. In fact, it's the most beautiful moment has been this era.
Yeah. And I tell a lot of people that the last 2 years has been amazing for us.
Yeah.
We've evolved.
Yeah.
We've grown.
I agree.
We've grown.
There's so much transformation in the last 3 years.
Transformation in the last 3 years.
3 years.
Even with our children,
it is light.
parenting.
When there's enlightenment and there's openness.
Yes.
And you are open to listen, to learn from people, and you are able to tell yourself, confront the truth to one another.
Yeah.
For example, now in the past, now if you say that I can
live
live without you, we will fight.
That will be wahala.
It will be fight.
That will be serious
fight.
stress.
It will be a big stress. But we are able to tell ourselves the truth.
Yes.
And we know that that's actually the honest truth that we must come to. Like one time we were discussing, I told my wife, if I die today, what will happen to you? You remember that night?
I remember.
If I die today,
what
will happen to you? I said it because
say?
if I die, I don't want you to suffer. I don't want my children to suffer. I want to be sure that you guys will be okay.
Absolutely.
It was supposed to be like a test of what can happen. So if you can live without me, it means that your insecurity is taken care of.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You see, people should. It depends on what is on your mind. When you talk like this, saying that you are talking about when you break, that you have to break your marriage or something. No, we don't think of negative things. We are positive. We are just being realistic about life. At some point, both we go, or one will go before the other. Anything can happen. You can lose a job. Whereas because the spouse lose a job, then you two, that's the end. Or there's somebody is sick or whatever. But we should be able to strengthen one another such that we can as an entity, we are healthy.
Yes.
Financially we are whole. That's the right word. Health-wise, financial-wise, spiritually, in every ramification, we are able to say yes. And that's the value I had to you, and that's the value you are adding to me.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
See me saying hallelujah. Okay, good. Okay. We need to talk about respect. Love and respect in our relationship. What do you think? How do you see it? Is it a one-sided thing or a mutual thing? Bless you. So what do you think when you hear of love, when you hear of respect, what comes to your mind?
Love, respect.
Yeah.
Well, they used to say that every man wants respect, to be respected. And they say woman wants to be loved. I say it today, if I've never mentioned to you, me, I want both.
Yes.
You can't say you love me when you're not respecting me. And when you love me, definitely you will respect me. I don't know. You're a woman. Don't you? What do you want out of the two, or what do
The
you think?
two
So I don't know how
joined.
there's how we're able to say one is for the masculine side or the woman side, and one is for the other side. You
Yeah,
see, love and respect are great ingredients that makes the marriage to be sweet. It
absolutely.
makes the commitment level to be super high.
Yeah,
It makes you to cherish and value and recognize one another. It
absolutely.
makes the man to always want to come home. It makes the woman also want to come home. I mean, when I say come home means your mind
Yeah,
is about it's
your
also going,
home.
it's always home, about your home, how to make things better, how to be a better person, how to apologize when you have missed it, how to be vulnerable
Yeah,
and all that. So respect and love, I don't think it's something that is attributed solely to a particular gender. I think every man and every woman wants to be loved and be
respected.
respected. So if I
Absolutely.
respect you, you will respect me. That's the game.
Yeah, and you know the beautiful thing is even beyond the husband and the wife, respect your children as well.
Very, very
Respect
important.
everyone around you, even your home keepers, your drivers, your domestic helps. The people respect everybody.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is when you do that, you get it in return.
Honestly, people that you just mentioned Marissa, have really been a blessing to me. People who are even
Domestic
domestic help to other
helps.
people. The second house we lived, it was actually somebody's driver
Yeah,
that looked for the
it's
place
for us.
for us. I didn't even tell the person. The person knew, somehow got to know, and he did all the works. And, you see, there's when you respect,
Mm,
there's a whole gamut of blessing
yeah,
that you get from there. You
absolutely.
you you can't I can't say I will say you can't quantify.
Mm-mm,
It may not be in cash, it can be in kind, it can be in goodwill, it
absolutely.
can be in form of impression.
Mm,
So we should respect everyone and we
everybody.
should actually love everyone.
Absolutely.
Because love is not sexuality. At many most people will go
Think
and
about
when talk about love, you think about sexuality. You know,
sex.
sex. Yeah, sorry, sex. You know, it's just beyond that.
Absolutely.
So if I love you, definitely I will care for you. If I love you, I will show concerns.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if I love you, I will insist. I can be hard on you. That's what tough love.
Oh yeah, you've done that several times, Mr. Law. Even
I
the
know,
way you are
I
doing
know,
like
I am
this,
good at that.
I'm remembering. I'm
Ah,
remembering. I'm
I,
remembering those times
ah,
you've
I am,
said,
I am,
Ayo,
I am. That's the area where me am hard.
this is it. You can be
Mm,
very liberal, but on some instances you say, no, Ayo, I'm not shifting on this. I'm not shifting. This is the way we are going to handle this. And that brings me to conflict resolution. Um, Maybe I should go first, then you speak to it. I love the way we handle our conflicts because I grew up not seeing my mom and my dad conflict. So if care wasn't taken, I would have thought they don't have conflicts. But getting into marriage, I knew that people have conflicts. And part of the things we have done in our own home is when we have conflicts, we don't go into the bedroom. If it happens when the children are around, we we
mm,
it's obvious they see it.
yeah.
But there and then we sort it
Mm,
out. Because you know what? When you go into the bedroom, that's my thinking.
yeah.
You can escalate
Mm,
and make it worse and do all manner of things. But having it when our children are around tells them that it's possible that um, lovey-dovey individuals fight. Because when they and their siblings are fighting, we don't tell them to go into the room. They have it when everybody is there and they sort it out. So we have learned, to have our conflicts. They are there. We don't use foul words. We don't speak down on each other. We just let each other know so that I'm not happy with this. And then we sort it out and we move on. There are times I'll say, okay, Femi, what do you want to eat?
yeah.
And we've moved on. And it's not that we've swept it under the carpet. No,
Yeah.
we've resolved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely. As far as you were talking, my mind just went back, and I'm not ashamed to talk about this. About I don't know if you remember one time, one of the conflict we had, probably one of the last major
Yes, a
conflict we had.
major one. And I think
it happened.
it was, I would say, the biggest we've ever
I
had.
don't know. Yeah,
It happened
it's right in this
on
room.
this seat.
Actually, yeah, yeah. Our children were also there.
We're
In fact,
watching,
we were watching
we're
something.
watching a movie
Yeah.
together,
Okay.
and they said you said something,
Yeah.
and I corroborated it, and you
Yeah.
just flipped.
Yeah, that
You
thing
just
I
flipped.
couldn't take. I can't remember exactly what
You
it was,
felt we
but
were,
I was, yeah.
you
I was
felt it was
spited. I was
demeaning. Yeah,
insulted. That's what I
insulted. That
felt.
was what you felt.
And of, naturally, I can take that. But that day, I couldn't take
You
it.
just
And that's to
flipped.
be able to say that again. That don't ever assume, because this person is always like this every time. Does not
Yeah,
mean you will always
don't
be
be
like
like
that.
Because I didn't know what was in your
I think I
mind.
took it very
It
seriously.
was
They
too
were all
bad.
taken aback,
We were.
and it was very bad that day.
What did I?
My wife wanted to pack out of the room or out of the house.
House
I think you're packing
to the office.
To the office.
Oh my God.
Interesting. But where I'm going is that at the end of the day, it was the children that resolved it for us.
Absolutely. It was the
It
children.
was the
Tosin
children.
and Toyin.
Started with Toyin,
Yes, Toyin
then
came.
Tosin, I think Tosin now stepped in. It was Toyin that Tosin did a lot.
Yes, he
Toyin did
did
a
a
lot
lot.
of work,
Yeah.
in resolving that. We resolved it that same day
That same
by the
day.
children. So
And that was the last.
and that was it. So for me, I don't know why should you be hiding when there's conflict.
Yeah.
That the children will not know the real world.
Yeah.
They will not know the real
a
world.
facade.
Yeah.
It's a facade.
And when they start having conflict in their home, they'll be
They'll be
thinking their
wondering,
husband is a demon or
they are-
devil
they
or is
are-
a different.
they are the
It's
ones
not
that
real
are-
that we are perfect. Come on, that's the real world.
Yes.
So as if once we are able to resolve our conflicts, I think it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
But in this case, it happened before our children.
Yeah.
They are even the one that resolved it for
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
and we have so much appreciated them for that. And I think it is a very good point they have scored, and they've learned from that as well.
Absolutely.
And it will be strange
Yeah.
in their own life too when there's a conflict, in their own home, and they know that yes, we can always resolve conflict.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would want to say the growth we have experienced. Do you think having a marital coach has a part to play?
Wow. Okay, we were talking about the past 3 years.
Yes.
The question we ask you, or rather, you asked me the question. I think that what has led to that growth was marital coach. We started out with counseling indirectly.
Yes.
Is it 3 years or 4 years now? Can't remember. About 3 years now. We started by attending a forum where we were trained, exposed to marriage engineering,
Yes,
family system
systems
engineering. And we now realized so many times we were in that class, realized that we have serious problems with our marriage.
And we didn't know.
And we didn't know. The things we were struggling with, the
Were
things we didn't
just
understand,
beliefs.
were just some beliefs, some traditions, and also some assumption that look so spiritual, Christianese, but they are not really, they're not working, they can't work for us. You need to bring in some scientific thinking, you have to bring some realistic data, and you need to really get to understand and see one another from the right perspective.
Absolutely.
So anyway, we started that journey. We also had a marital coach. In fact, we have marital coach. We do annual marriage checkup. Our communication becomes bigger than life. We can talk of anything and everything. There is nothing we cannot talk about. In fact, we went back to our mistakes in the past.
Absolutely.
We even apologized to one another. We opened up more. We dug into issues. And for me, that makes us to be free. So the role of having a counselor or a marital coach or getting yourself involved in education sessions, seminars, and things that will really help you to open up more is very key. It's key, especially those of us who are from this third world. We hide a lot. Before we thought that if somebody sees a weakness, it's a flaw. We don't like being exposed. I should be exposed to, but if I don't want to expose myself to the general world, I should be exposed to my spouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
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 So I'm so grateful for the huge transformation the last 3 years. I will say that I've been enjoying my marriage. I've been enjoying my wife, my family. In an astronomical way. I'm just looking for a better word than that.
Yeah.
In the last 3 years, when we have been able to engage these tools with people and these processes that we were we had the opportunity of
Yeah.
getting into.
Thank you so much, sweetheart, for coming on our
Wow,
show
I don't do
today.
things like
I
this.
know
This is my
you
fault. I'm telling you,
grew.
I didn't want to do this. This is not my thing. I'm not.
And this is just the
But
beginning, you
but
know
I,
what?
but I think I enjoyed it.
It's yeah, it's
Why,
beautiful.
I don't
You know,
know.
being a blessing to
I don't know.
others, sharing your life with other people, it's just so
I'm even
amazing.
shocked that I decided.
You
I didn't
agreed.
want to change my mind yesterday. Actually, you're still online. I forgot.
It's fine. You're being vulnerable. You're being vulnerable, and that's what we. That is what makes us. Um, that's what makes life beautiful when we're vulnerable. Yes, you wanted to change your mind. I need to hear that story.
Yeah, I just I don't want to change my mind because
You're
I
just
don't
like,
like.
yeah,
But it's a good thing to
it's a
do.
good
Talk
thing.
about your story. Talk about what you know, and of course, you are changing the world. You are making lives
Absolutely.
better.
One
And I
family
think I
at a
think
time.
I am excited. Thank you for bringing me out, and I love you.
Love you, sweetheart. So thank you so much, everyone who has been a part of this show today. It's been amazing, amazing, amazing time spent with the love of my life.
Thanks, dear.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you everyone for being a part. This stays here. You can always come back, to watch, to watch, to watch. Like I said, marriages are different, individuals are different, but the principles remain the same. Love is not enough. You need other things.
Mm.
And if you go back to other episodes, we've talked about the things that you need, to add to your marriage, not just love. You need understanding. You need to have a purpose for which you've come together. You need a vision to guide your home. What are your values? What do you stand for as a people? You need to keep developing yourself. You need to be fit in your home. What are the things that keeps your marriage going? Is it that you go on a walk together, you watch movies together? Do you have family times, family days, couple days, royalty days? All manner of things, that would ensure that your home, is a beautiful, beautiful one. These are the things we have done over the past few years, and we can testify, we can see of the truth. Marriages work. Marriages are working. Yes, we've had our mistakes. We've had, our times of, oh, I want to go my way and things like that. But because we've chosen, we've been intentional, and we've seen the change over the past couple of years. So thank you so much, everyone. I remain Ayo Lawrence, the queen of premium family life practice. And if peradventure you need me to support you on anything, please go to our website, www.lcubedinternational.com, to request for our service. And you can also put a direct call to +324 818
You mean
4.
234 plus 234?
Yes,
Yeah.
+234 +234 818 466 8090, and we will definitely attend to you. Once again, thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you've not. This is the last episode for the year 2021. We will resume with a bang in 2022. Thank you so much, and have an amazing, amazing day or week, month, year ahead. Bye. Thank you.